Oh.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday to you, and there's no better way to kickstart your Sunday outside of a good cup of coffee than with us three on your favorite weekly sports show. It is Point of View. I'm Bobby Munson, and we're going to start over to the right of your screens, I believe, probably to my immediate left. It is Mark. Mark, how you doing this morning?
Oh, got very starstruck then. I didn't know you were coming to me. I'm all right. I'm currently sat watching the British Grand Prix, the greatest Grand Prix of the calendar year, which also marked, which he's also watching. Please put the advert away because I don't want them to copyright, especially adverts because they're so stuck up their own asses. But currently watching that, it's been an interesting week. I've had a nice little shave, and I brag to everyone I got the professional wrestler haircut. So that's why I'm very, very excited for that. We've had a bit of a sad day as well. A couple of days ago as well. We'll get into that on the show. The Women's Euros started, which was disappointing for England. But I'll get into why I'm pissed off about that match. The British and Irish Lions rugby. We'd like to have a little conversation about rugby. Oh, fuck me, Yuki. It's a car, not fucking. You can't hit cars, you numpty.
While Mark's so yelling at the screen, maybe we could go over to the other part of the show. All 2/3 of them sitting aside from me, having just fresh off that ring announcing gig that he was on this weekend. It's Andre C. How you doing, Andre?
I'm good. Came off 2 nights of ring announcing this weekend for Friday and Saturday. But yeah, it's been a good week. Great last couple days. Good to hang out with everybody last night with the Horde, the Edmonton contingent of the Horde last night at RCW ring announcing. And it's been a good weekend. Now, watching some British Grand Prix, watching my Canadian boy Lance Stroll winning. And she wasn't even there, which makes me so sad. She's on the other side of the country now.
Hello, Peggy. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us here. And yes, it is that famous RCW ring announcer there, Andre C., that's on the show with us.
You know, Astrid now wants like a sizable fee for weekend work, right? Does Andre now need like a bumper in pay now that he's getting famous on the internet for being a ring announcer? Is that where we're at now?
Wait, we get paid for this?
Yeah.
You get paid.
I was just gonna say I've been doing commentary for 8 fucking years, and I don't know if I've taken a penny yet either. So,
did everyone get sent the video of Andre doing the ring announcing? I reckon he's fully like spammed the videos, and I reckon he's only done it because it was really, really good video. It was a really, really good. Hello, Buster. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, morning. See, I got the honor of seeing Andre do live ring announcing. So
that's very true.
I was in person for it at one point.
Yeah, last fall. Yep. It's a fall festival.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Was that the one when me and Ed turned up?
Where your head's poked into the picture somehow afterwards. Yes.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, that one. Yeah. I remember that vividly. Well, I remember that all the time. Yeah, it was quite hard because half of my head was cut off, but it was really good to watch.
And good morning to Ash for joining us as well too.
That's the week I earned my 2/3 moniker.
Say your name as she appears.
And Peggy's check hadn't cleared. We've been bouncing checks all week, I guess. I don't know.
Can we before we get on to sport? Can I do some Marvel talk? Just sliver.
Just the point of view. So go ahead.
Right. I've been going back. Okay. I said to both of you off the screen that I'm going to go back and I'm going to do Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Punisher, all of that in order. I'm going to do all of that I never watched before in order. But then I was watching Agatha all along. I don't know whether this is controversial or not. But I'm not enjoying Agatha all along. I found it, and I'm trying not to. I found it very boring. I'm on 7 episodes in, and I'm like, okay, so you're doing WandaVision again, but you're still trying to fuck with my brain even more for characters that we're never going to see again after this.
Or we might. Not entirely true. Not entirely true.
Well, we're gonna see Agatha and Wiccan again, but
Lady Death for that matter,
and Lady Death. But like every other character, kind of, yeah. No, I understand it. Like the show isn't for everybody. I quite enjoyed it.
Brett, stop coming in with his bollocks.
Not yet.
Brett, I thought I liked you.
This is okay. I got to tell the story now. This is so funny because I was chatting with Brett and one of the on the OVW chat the other day, and he specifically said that he was going to come in and use the word soccer one more time to wind you up. And I was like, full blown, I've got to allow this. I've got to allow it because it's going to be so funny.
You have a part to play in this, did you?
I didn't try to prevent it. Let's put it that way. I encouraged it.
See, Brett, you pissed Andre off so much, he's fucked off. That's what's
No. Andre just doesn't want you to see him laughing so much on the sidelines right now.
No, but no, I found I'm still gonna finish it. I'm still gonna finish it because I need to finish it. But Agatha All Along has been one of the worst ones I've watched.
Really?
Just for my attention for my attention span. The issue is, if it doesn't make sense, I switch off. And if I have to think too much, like Da Vinci Code was the worst film ever for me to watch. And I watched it and I went, what is going on? But I will say, Dead, oh, you beautiful bastard. Oh, you beautiful bastard. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm taking a fucking picture of this shit. This deserves it. Oh, you beautiful bastard. No, I don't want a picture of myself. Look at him. Look at that sexy fuck. Look at Bobby. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Well done.
Well, as long as they stay 2 divisions down, then it's okay for him to wear that on this.
No. It stays. If we come and get United, he's coming. He's wearing it.
No, not happening. Not happening.
They're winning League One next year. They're going to move to the championship. And then they're going to go to the Premier League the year after. They're going to get back-to-back promotions. I'm in. Doing this.
Can I just say,
Mark doesn't have. I was just going to say you don't like to think too much, which is why you're a WWE fan, right?
Yes, exactly. I will 100% take that. That does not bother me whatsoever. By the way, for Andre,
that fashion podcast coming tomorrow from Melbourne.
Yeah, that's
the Melbourne show.
Can I just say, I have more of an erection now. Because not only did Andre say that Reading were going to win the league, he got the divisions correct in the order that needed to be promoted. Not only that, he said everything correctly in that sentence. I don't know whether he's rehearsed that or someone sent that to him or he's learned that, but I am rock solid right now.
It's like Ralph Wiggum on The Simpsons.
I'm learning. You guys have talked. Between you two, and don't hate me on this, the Welcome to Wrexham show, which has really taught me about the English Premier League. Again, it's how I learned about the sport, so don't get too mad. Guys, I've learned a lot about this. So it's I know some of the right stuff. Yeah,
I'd still rather people learn through Ted Lasso personally, but you know.
Oh no! I learned a little bit from there too. But
I have to say though, as much as I hate the way they do business, I do think what Welcome to Wrexham is doing is the right thing, and I think they've got the right people at the helm to do it. I think if you're going to get a fan base intrigued or people intrigued in a sport, you're going to need a little bit of sense of humor with it. And I feel like when I watch it, I enjoy the parts where where Ryan and Rob are bantering off each other. I'm like, that's what sport is about. And then when they get it wrong and they try and invite other teams and they learn very quickly that you don't do that onto the show. And when they got told stuff, morning Roxanne Perez. So I'm very much, I'm looking forward. I respect. I don't like the way they do things because I do want my club to do the same thing. And I know financially we can't do it. But at the same time, I respect them. Except if they get rid of McLean, the winger, then I respect Wrexham a lot more because he's a twat. Anyway.
All right. Well, seeing as we're on the footy talk, and I will say footy talk just so we don't make Bart completely blow a gasket here this week.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's discuss the main topic of the week here. Mark, let's go over to the Women's Euro 2025 tournament that is currently taking place. Unfortunately, yesterday, not so good on the English front as France took that victory 2-1. We got 2 games today. Today, we will see Norway taking on Finland and Switzerland taking on Iceland. Where are we at with this tournament, Mark? What does England need to do to turn this? I mean, it really is just the first game, so hopefully that's, one, and then they can pick up the other victories to stay in this. But where are we at right now? What's going on with the Women's Euros?
Well, it has been classed that the England group is the group of death. It was classed that before because you've got Netherlands who have a history of a great. They got Miedema up top, the former Arsenal striker, current Manchester City striker as well, up top for them. France are bouncing back. They have one of the best clubs in the world in Lyon that win everything over in France alongside PSG. Surprisingly, but they have one of the best clubs over there as well. So they've got it. Welsh, they're the whipping boys of the group. And it makes me happy that they are, because it's the Welsh, and fuck the Welsh in sport. Other than that, I quite like them. Nice place. Anyway, so the Welsh they're very much celebrating just being there because it's the first time in their history that they made a major competition, and they also only have 2 players in their full squad that are professional footballers. So it very much a massive respect for them for going there. I would say as well, if we're looking, Spain obviously going to be favourites alongside the Italians as well. I wouldn't look past certain teams like Sweden are very well known for doing very, very well. But look, going back to the game yesterday, how do I say this respectfully? Fuck the ref. That's the most respectful way I could have put that. Leah Williams, there should have been a red card to a French player. What would be a good channel to learn football?
I mean,
how about this?
Outside of this one?
Yeah, I was going to say, Brett, if you want us to do a show at some point where we teach football and you want to learn, we'll do it.
That's not a bad idea.
We would do a show where we will. That was respectful for me, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think I literally say here. Yeah, if you want us to do a show where Andre can come on as well because he's learning as well, where he can ask questions and we can. I mean this as respectful as possible, but dumb it down to a point where everyone understands.
Why don't we aim for next Sunday?
Yeah.
Why don't we make next Sunday be the footy show next Sunday, and we'll go through step by step and do our best to learn.
Okay, how about this? Brett
will be learning.
Everyone in the chat who's here, I want you to put in the chat as I'm talking about the women's football, and we'll get back to it, and I'll write this down, or Bobby will probably write it down for me because I'm an idiot. Write down what are the main things you guys want to learn, because there's a lot to go through. Is it divisions? Is it teams? Is it how the sport is played? Is what rules are you looking at? What are the things that you're looking for? The main ones that you want.
Already. I have your first question already. What the fuck is offside in footy?
All right.
We can easily explain that.
Yeah, I'll explain it.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, but let's reserve that for that specific show.
Yeah.
That's a great question
Bobby,
for that show.
Bobby, should we put the offside rule when there's a goalkeeper involved as well? because that gets so much more complicated. Anyway, yeah, we'll put that on the list. Bobby will write that down on the list. Gameplay.
Okay.
Are you talking about you want to know different tactics?
The rules, tactics, I would assume, in that kind of situation, probably substitutes would make sense in that kind of thing. So,
right.
I mean, both Mark and I definitely have like at minimum our community coaching badges. I think Mark might even be a little bit ahead on that side. Like my coaching badges are as good up to coaching all ages, and I can coach, I think, I can't go professional. I haven't taken any professional tags. Mine are all community and stuff like that. So I'm at the level where I could take them if I wanted to, but
to be fair,
doesn't hold.
But to be fair, me and you have watched enough football to know the rules.
Fair, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Let's be fair. We have watched enough footy to understand the rules. We understand in leagues, divisions, who is where. Yeah, that's easily done. Yeah. These are all easily done. Bobby, can you write these down and remind me what? And I will do some graphics.
Yeah. Leagues, divisions, who is where, the rules, the gameplay. We can fit that into a show next weekend and everything like that. And let's go with that.
Andre, if you come up with anything that you want to know more about history of stuff, then we can happily. I can do it a quick history on certain teams and stuff like that. So just let me know what you guys want, especially Reading, if you want to know more about that, because Andre's now the living legend. Forever in my heart now.
At least in Mark's eyes.
Yeah, I don't care what anyone else says. No, I can die happy now knowing I persuaded a Canadian to support Reading. I'm done.
You've got the love of all of Reading fans worldwide now, Andre. That's how that works.
So you know what that means now. If you're a Reading fan, I'm going to piss off the Reading community now. If you're a Reading fan and you're on Twitter, it means you have to be a miserable piece of shit and moan all the fucking time. Anyway, I needed to get that out. That's the
problem. I don't like to post whiny bullshit online.
Don't worry, go on Blue Sky. They're nice on there.
Yeah, it's on me. Even nice on Twitter, I try to only post. I only post like somewhat nice things. So
yeah. Anyway, women's football. Anyway, let's go back to women's football. If you got any more stuff that you want to know, put in the chat down below. Bobby will write it all down. He'll send me the list of stuff that you guys want. I will do graphics for all of it. And then me and Bobby will then take it in turns to explain it or deep dive into whatever you guys want. We will do that. But women's football, France should have had a red card. They got 2 goals, were very poor defensively.
I think there's something for next Sunday. Andre's part has to be to learn one of the Reading songs.
You have to teach me your Reading song or whatever your main song.
I think that's Andre's task for next Sunday. He needs to learn it, and he needs to sing it.
Mark needs to send me lyrics so I can learn it, and then we can sing it on here.
You see that grin get even wider. It just like it's like when the Grinch gets a bad idea, all of a sudden
yes. I had 2 songs in my head. One is to piss off a whole fan base, and the other one is to celebrate a player. So I'm debating in my mind which one to give him. I know which one already I'm going to give him. That's basically piss off a whole fan base. So
I don't want to have to make another apology, man.
No. You don't need to apologize to Swindon fans.
There's no apologizing.
You do not need to apologize to Swindon fans at all. So fucking hate Swindon. Anyway, so should have been a red card to France. We played better in the second half. Just could not get the final touch. A little bit worrying with the group that we've got with the group of death that we now have to beat Netherlands and Wales. But the good thing is we got Wales coming up next in the next fixture. Add to Andre's apology. Yeah, I would like to add quite a few playlists to that one. Apologize to me for staying me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to create shit for him and his wrestling factions. Which then, by the way, I'm going to have a rant about Andre now. I sent it all to him. He's seen them all. Not once has he said thank you or how much he liked them all. Not once did I get a love.
The only one The only one I didn't respond to was the one you sent me in the middle of my night that I saw this morning. That's the only one I haven't responded to.
Yeah. Are you going to respond now? Are you happy?
Phenomenal. They all look phenomenal.
All right, women's football.
It doesn't matter what you say. I need to know you love me. That's all I want to know. But yeah, no. More to learn. But at the same time, the women need to get their asses in gear and change it around. They need to absolutely fucking smash the Welsh. Absolutely smash them, and then go on to Netherlands and win that. So yeah, and Fame has changed him. That's why it's only me to ask him to say sorry.
They're only playing everybody once in the group stage, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah,
normal tournament rule, World Cup Euro rule.
So even a tie is not going to do them. Like a draw is not going to do anything for them. They need victory in the next two games badly. And I mean, Wales is a guarantee. Netherlands is going to be tough. Spain's a team that, oh my god, like 5-0 over
Spain
Portugal
beat England. So the last international tournament was the World Cup, and that was held in Australia. And it was the final between England and Spain. And that's where the whole controversy about the Spain's president come out. How do I put this? He decided to celebrate with each player by kissing each woman on the lips, which then had a whole public investigation into, and he got sacked. Which somehow some of the federations still backed him. Anyway, so it's very much of the Spanish back. England, I think I saw, oh my God, where's he gone? He's off. Goodbye.
George went across the grass.
Yeah, just went goodbye. It's all about now. I think if you look at the history of England, the last 3 tournaments that they've been in, they've reached a final in each of them. Won one and lost one. No, the last 2 finals they've been in, they've won them. So a lot of room to come back from. The French did look okay. They looked okay, but should have won that, really. Should have won that. After the footballing world this week we've had, been a bit of a sad one, shall we say.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to kind of transition into next. And I know I mentioned this to you guys, and I'll mention to everybody in the chat. Our next subject is very somber. It wasn't one that I wanted to put on the thumbnail to try to get extra clicks, because I strongly feel against trying to get people to watch for the sake of watching at somebody's expense. So we are going to talk about the unfortunate and untimely passing of Diego Jota, played for Liverpool. Him and his brother were in a horrible car wreck, and neither one of them survived. And I can't say enough about all my love and respect to his family in their time of loss. It's a horrible situation. The thing I will miss about Diego Jota is cursing his name every time I watched him play against Manchester United, because when he was out there, I couldn't stop calling him an SOB, and a lot of worse names that I won't repeat here on this channel. But again, it doesn't matter who you play for, what team you play for, or anything like that, and how much I ever curse out a player when they play against my club. I don't wish this on anybody on this planet, period. And so I can't do anything but wish all the best to him and to his family, and hope that he has a peaceful rest where he's moved on to now and everything like that. But it's a very sad time in the footballing world this week.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's not interesting. It's sad as well, because if you look out the past 2 months of his life, he won the Premier League for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
He got married to his childhood sweetheart, who they've been together since they were 12, 13, I think it was.
Yeah.
He got married to her a week before. He has 3 kids. Liverpool have come out and said that they're going to be paying the wife the remaining contract, the money that he was going to have for his contracts. They're going to be paying the wife. It's one of those situations where I was at work and my brother texted me and he went, "Have you seen about Diego Jota? He's passed away." And my instant reply was, "Yeah, all right. It's Twitter. They're just coming up with some bullshit to say something."
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on there and there was just so much outpouring. And I seen him play live. many years ago when he first signed for Wolverhampton Wanderers when they were in the Championship. He played against Reading. And it was a big, massive marquee signing for Wolves at the time. Him, Ruben Neves, Rui Patricio was the goalkeeper. There was a couple of Portuguese because they had Jorge Mendes as their special advisor at Wolves at the time, who's the super agent. Mainly made his name off Ronaldo, but now has got all of the best kids in the world under his agency. And he comes to Reading, and I remember this because I was reminiscing about it, and I watched clips of that game because I was searching it and I wanted to go watch it. And I remembered I turned around to my brother in that game and I said, "Oh, that's a very, very good nippy little player." And then he was very well known for gaming. He had the gaming celebration where he would sit cross-legged, pretending to play with a controller. And he admitted he spent thousands of pounds getting Ultimate Team packs for EAFC. It's just mental to think, isn't it? A guy younger than me,
28.
He had so much for the future, and for that to happen.
He was right in his prime. Yeah. Andre, take the rings from there. Yeah.
What?
Oh, you were Mark got you off at the beginning there, so we're just.
I just gonna say that it's terrible. Like I know, again, I'm not familiar with the player, but it happened over here with Johnny Gaudreau there a couple months back, dying in after being hit by a car when he's biking. So like I get it. Like it's just seeing these guys so young, leaving behind families. Yeah, it's terrible. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see a guy who's in the prime of his career, just in prime of his life, go. That kind of shit happen. It's not. No.
The funny thing is because we're probably gonna have a conversation in a second about Manchester United and the struggles they're having in a transfer market, and Arsenal decided. and I was going to touch on Arsenal deciding to go Super Saiyan at the moment in the transfer market of what they're doing after the huge publicity. But I want to talk a bit like this. This is going to be a very tough topic to talk about. But there's a huge backfire at the moment from Arsenal, and I want to get both of your opinion on this. And I'm not really sure what to think or how I feel about this, but I know Bobby probably knows where I'm going with this. About Thomas Partey. He was an Arsenal player, and was he? How do I word this, Bobby? Do you know the easiest way to word this? Like to not. So Thomas Partey, there is a very well known that he's not allowed to play in Spain. He can't play in Spain because apparently there are allegations against him back in Spain for sexual assault against a woman. And anytime Arsenal have played a game in Spain, he's miraculously injured every time. He can't play. Then there was these contract talks that were happening with Arsenal at the end of the season where Arsenal were trying to offer him a new deal. But apparently the police have contacted them to say that they will be charging Thomas Partey for 3 counts of sexual assault from the years of, was it 2016 to recent or so? The last 4 years. I think it's the last 4 years under his contract with Arsenal. Which then Arsenal then refused to offer him a contract and he got released. Now, there is huge backlash, and I'm going to listen to other opinions of people's opinion before I make my own first, of the whole situation where people are saying Arsenal say they cannot comment on any of this situation as this is an ongoing investigation and they are not allowed to comment on this. So I want to get both your points on this. What do Arsenal do? Because they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. So it's one of these conversations where I'm struggling to think, did Arsenal actually know? Did Arsenal hide this for so long that because this has to be a talking point, right? Because it has to be, because if you don't talk about this, you're letting someone get away with it, and it's going to go hiding behind the bleachers and all this and all that. So this has to be a talking point, but we have to actually mind at the same time what we say, because it's under investigation and we could potentially say the wrong thing to do something in investigation. So I want to get both of your opinions on what you think about the situation and what you think of what happened.
Well, take away the idea whether or not they know for sure. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Take that out of the question. Now that it's public enough that it's known, it becomes very similar to Manchester United with the Mason Greenwood situation. There's something that's been brought up, and we can't dismiss that it is a possibility to have been true. Whether or not it is, that's for a jury to decide, not for a bunch of people online to decide based on an accusation at this point in time. Again, I'm not saying don't believe that it is a strong possibility. Same with Greenwood's situation. You have to take the situation very seriously. And Manchester United, in a sense, did. They immediately suspended Greenwood. He was not allowed to take part in training. He wasn't allowed to play. They ended up sending him out on loan because there was teams that wanted him after he had been cleared. And this is even after he had been cleared. Like, after he had been cleared, they took it serious enough that there was people in the organization that weren't comfortable with Greenwood being at Manchester. So they sent him on loan, and inevitably sold him in the end. And he was a great player. It was at a great loss to United as a club, but they did what was right by their people and their public image, I guess, is the way they approached the situation. Now, I'm not saying everybody would, because again, there's teams outside of England that were very, very much happy to take Greenwood on and to put Greenwood on a field. And that's the same situation here. Does Arsenal go about it where, okay, now that now that the public is more aware, now that it's being known and stuff, do you take them out of the equation to show, okay, until something is figured out, until we know for sure, and an investigation has been done, including an internal investigation by their own people, I think that they have to take a stance in that and say, until further notice or until we have further details, this is a player that can't be fielded, would be my thought.
Andre? See, he's been a good lad. He's been a good lad.
Morning, STG.
I guess I did the right thing, according to Mark. So
very much so. Very much so.
But yeah, I'm with you. Again, the player needs to be sent. He needs to be put to the side. Simple as that. Hey, Parrish.
What's up, Parrish?
Put to the side and just until, because again, you see and I'm not saying he didn't do it, but again, everybody deserves their day in court to make their case and see what comes of it, right? So whatever happened, but yeah, in this case, they need to be like suspended and said no, you can't. There's no playing for anybody at this point until you deal with your shit. It's a tough spot. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to talk about when you don't know for sure on anything.
No, so the problem that I have, and everyone should have their day in court, everyone should be heard, all of that thing, and I completely agree with that. The problem is it's always been talked about, but nothing's been done. And I wonder why it sort of happened now, because if we look back at the history of this, Gylfi Sigurdsson, the former Reading Academy player, was at Everton, and he got raided by the police for talking to a minor, for someone under the age of 16. But then he got suspended in the same day and got released at the end of his contract, which then, by then, he was found not guilty. There was the person that lied about that, and it was found out in court. Mason Greenwood was an interesting one because there was video evidence and there was photographic evidence and there was the camera sound, was it voice recorded? I think that was what it was called, where you heard what was being said. So that was obvious. You can't deny what you saw. With Thomas Partey, it's one of those of, would Arsenal really risk, after the whole situation, would Arsenal really risk everything for a player like that? Would you really want to risk? Thomas Partey is a good player, a good player, but is he? Do you know what I mean? You don't risk that for anyone. But what I will say is before we change topics and go over to, before we let Andre talk about sport, before I go back into rugby chat or anything like that, is everyone is innocent, and I need people to understand this. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Okay? Mm-hmm. When people ask for my opinions, I will give an opinion, but I will always say, it's my opinion. That doesn't mean it's true, and it doesn't mean what I say is the right thing. If it comes back and Arsenal have fucked up, they need to be severely punished, and for 100%. The people to do that.
Yeah, if they've known for if they've known for a long time and they've been keeping it under wraps, that's not copacetic at all. That's just bad juju in everything. Yeah. But yeah, it's. What were they know? Like, what did the club know? Like, did they know full extent? There's all these different things. Like, what was brought to the club and when was it brought to the club? Things like that. So, like, you can't shit on them right now until we know. And I don't think we'll ever fully know. Like, nobody's gonna completely come out and say when they found out. Whenever, you know what I mean? Unless
I've heard of this name. I've heard of that name, STG, but I'm not caught up on the situation. I have heard of that.
Mm-hmm. I've heard word of it. I don't know it really well.
Yeah, we're not going to comment. I've heard of the name, but I don't know why. But what I will say is getting away from that and hope the person is okay and they get the justice that they need if it's all proven that they have. So let's hope that they get all of that. But talking about transfer market, by the way, fucking Arsenal are cooking. Not only have they just signed the Real Sociedad midfielder that turned down Liverpool a year before. I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name because it's so fucking long. They also going after Noni Madueke from Chelsea, the winger. They also looking at Gorkes, who Manchester United tried to go, come here, come hither. And he's gone, no. He's only given first priority to Arsenal. And they trying to tie down.
He's starting to seem like a bit of a big head. So go ahead.
I told you this last time. That wasn't him talking, and I'll stand by that. That's not him talking because he's never done that in his career before.
He's willing to put on that dirty old shirt, it's his ego.
Yeah, but to be fair, I can't really say that because I've got Arsenal in my family, so I actually like Arsenal a bit. Not as more than anyone else.
I like Arsenal when they're far away from Manchester United.
True, and to be fair, last season they were because you were near the bottom and they were near the top, so they were quite far away from you. But Chelsea spending a £60 million on João Pedro, spending £40 million on Grittins. And they've all spent for Liam Delap. And they've also just been fined recently 13 million euros for breaching financial fair play rules.
By the way, STG, it's not a matter of they want out, we want them out. We're trying to sell them. We want them gone as far away from United as possible. Get them the fuck away from our club.
Well, Rashford looks like he's going to be off to go into Barcelona because Nico Williams Jr. Was toying with the idea of going there, but now has signed a new deal with Atletico Bilbao. Juventus wants Sancho as well. Real Betis are trying to get Anthony, and there are apparently unnamed Newcastle probably, or Nottingham Forest. Teams like that, unnamed Premier League sides that are trying to get Garnacho because he only wants to stay in the Premier League. He doesn't want to go. There are Saudi clubs that want him, and he has said he will. This is a quote that I saw. He will look at that idea if no one else goes for him.
Look,
So,
if he legitimately wanted to stay in the Premier League and he wanted to play for another team, I could understand that and respect it. But the fact that he went and put Rashford's Aston Villa based shirt on and took a picture just because he's a pissy little prick, it's like, you know what? You're an ignorant asshole. You've pretty much killed your credibility. You've killed down the amount Manchester United can get for you now because nobody wants to work with you, you arrogant little bastard. Quite frankly, it's like, gone. Get him on. Will he do good at Newcastle? Yeah, he will, because he's proven in the Premier League he can do well, and there's players on Newcastle that can put a ball in the back of the fucking neck. Alexander Isak, who we should have signed long before Newcastle got his claws into him. But, you know, whatever. Get him gone. I don't care at this point. Like, these 4 players have attitude problems, and these 4 players can take their attitude problems and piss off already.
STG, there's not real competition.
It's the Premier League. Sorry.
Yeah. If you're going as a league in a whole, you will go Premier League. If you're going European competition, you go Spanish football. With that's the best way to explain that for you. But no.
But there's a big difference between top teams in La Liga because there's a couple and then the other teams just exist. And then in the Premier League, it's like there's an abundance, and even the lesser teams, they fight hard. They really fight hard.
I'm going to call it now. I'm calling it now. If Arsenal get the transfers that they want, if Man United get the transfers that they want and they make a solid team, okay, Chelsea are building around that team and they're doing really well. La Liga money is only in the top 4 teams. There's no one else below that. With that, so you've got Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, maybe Valencia, but they're quite shit now. Villarreal, you can put in there, but they're a bit Seville. But if you're going to say that, next season you've got Villa who are going to come back because they're going to be fresher. You've got Newcastle who's spending money on Elanga. They want Elanga. They're going to get another winger, and they're looking to shore up their defense as well because they're looking at that Italian bloke for Atalanta as well to shore up that defense they've got. I'm saying this now. Oh my God, Nico Hulkenberg is coming round into 3rd. He has never got a podium before in Formula 1. Oh my fucking good God. Go on, you German bastard. Get over the line. Go on, son. He's fucking done it. That's amazing.
He had almost 6 seconds ahead of Hamilton, too. Like,
that is fantastic. Oh, so Kevin Magnussen's there as well. Oh, that's brilliant. Anyway, sorry.
And Stroll in 6th.
7th. He'll go down to 7th in a sec. He'll go down to 7th in a sec. You'll see.
Did he get a time penalty?
No, he's 7th. Gasly 6th. Stroll 7th. Albon's 8th.
Okay,
Alonso's
I'm slightly
9th.
behind you then, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to say at the moment, Liverpool need to strengthen as well a little bit more, but they've got their eyes on a couple of players and they're looking to go for it. Breaking the British record, signing Flavian Wirtz for Bayer Leverkusen. There's an 18.
I hope he's the most expensive flop in history.
No, that's Pogba. That's Pogba. That's still going to be.
It's got to be. If Wirtz needs to take the title now, I mean, as much as I don't like Pogba,
you need him to take the title.
I need Wirtz to be that guy. Yeah. Look, like STG. Let's be respectful here. Despite my team being shit most seasons for the last fucking decade, we have won some trophies in that process. Like, yes, so it's not complete loss. I mean, and we can bounce back. I mean, the only thing worse than what we did this season is relegation. So I hope we can score some goals to stay out of the relegation zone this coming season.
You've got good 9-10 teams that are going to be
players. We've got good players at United. Like,
I'm not talking United. I'm talking at the moment. United at this precise moment. United are 9th in the table for me. Just 9th. They haven't strengthened enough. By the way, can I just point out the balls on that 18-year-old Paraguayan that's just signed for Manchester United, Diego Leon. By the way, £3.5 million he just signed. He tweeted a week before he's leaving to go to Manchester United and he's going to become a starting left back.
That's what he said too. Yeah,
he just signed a starting left back. Man, if you think do you know what? I want you in my team. Go and get it. Go. You got balls, and I like it.
That's what I like about him already. It's like he's like, I'm coming out on this preseason. I'm going to show you why I'm going to be the starter for Manchester United. And I'm like, kid, yes, that's what we need. Somebody kissing that badge and saying, I'm going out there to be the best. And I'm going out there to be the best on this team. I love it. Is Man City a threat for next year? They're always a threat. Fuck off, Man City.
Yes. Yes. They. Oh, by the way, craziest transfer so far this summer: Kyle Walker leaving Manchester City to go to Burnley. What? How the fuck? TJ Watt, the NFL star, retired, absolute legend, has got some pull for him to bring him that. Also, just quickly back to Formula One, just for 1 second.
Well, do some Formula One, guys. We've done almost 45 minutes of footy. You guys should probably cover a few other things before we wrap up.
Nico Hulkenberg has just scored his first podium ever in Formula One, and this was his 239th attempt at doing it. Oh, if a man doesn't deserve... Lance Stroll will still be waiting longer than that for a podium because he's that shit. But Nico Hulkenberg, what a man. And to get third, I'm really... That is what the British Grand Prix is all about. You got to love it. And also, Max Verstappen, not in the top 5.
Yeah, 6, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Feels good.
Well, before Mark gets into rugby here to wrap the night off.
No, Verstappen finished 5th.
Oh, bollocks. I was having a happy day.
Yeah. Gazzy was 6. Stroll 7. Yeah.
But before we get into Mark wrapping up with rugby.
Sorry, I was going to say, Hamilton did place ahead of Verstappen, so you should be happy about that, Mark.
And a British driver won the British Grand Prix. Woohoo! Lando, go Lando. He's going to win the championship. Another British driver to win the world championship. Go Lando, go Lando. Pretty much,
Lando. It's him or Piastri. That's it. Him or Piastri is winning it this year.
Yeah, that's
McLaren is taking both championships this year. It's simple as that. Yeah. They're taking both the drivers and the constructors. I'm so happy.
Look what happens!
The celebration for Hulkenberg
when you have 2 drivers that can drive. That's what happens, Red Bull, when you make 2 cars fucking drivable. Anyway. Also, Yuki's shit. He's not shit. You just gave him a shit car. I'm so happy Hulkenberg has got a podium. It is absolutely phenomenal.
The celebration for Hulkenberg was beautiful. Just watching.
Yeah, it was. I just saw clips of that.
Him. Oh, so good.
All right, Andre, going to go over to you. Any things in the world of sports you wanted to hit up on some quick topics here before we head over to Mark to finish it up with the rugby talk?
Well, before, as you guys were talking about the transfer window opening over in the footy land, the NFL free agency market started up on July 1st.
Fantastic.
So lots of stuff going on. I'm just going to talk about a couple teams who have done some great stuff. Talk about Florida. They re-signed all 3 of the top the free agents that were leaving. They re-signed them: Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand. So they kept their players from going, and not a lot of people thought they were going to be able to keep all 3. They did. They spent the money. They got them. The team is looking like a possible 3-peat next year. It's kind of insane. No, I said NHL, dude. Did I say NFL? I apologize.
I think you did actually.
Okay, NHL. I apologize. My brain is. I'm running off like 5.5 hours sleep. I'm very tired.
I thought you said NFL. I was waiting for the Dolphins chat. I was like, oh, we're getting Dolphins chat. And then he went,
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, am I missing? Did Florida get a team in the NFL this year?
I messed up.
They do. It's Miami, you bloody idiot.
Technically, Miami, they're Florida. They suck. They still suck, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck off. We're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. We'll see, mate. We'll see. Back to Andre. Back to Andre for the realistic chat here.
Yeah, but the Florida Panthers, man, they did a lot of great in their in getting their team back together because it's solid. You got to give it up to Vegas and like the day before the free agency started in trading to get Mitch Marner, signing him. He's going to bolster their offense, and that team's scarier than it was before. But I got to give it to Carolina. They probably had the best with Nikolai Ehlers signing for a 6-year. He's just solid defenseman, and he's going to make Carolina even scarier than they currently are. So it's going to be really interesting next year. Montreal didn't do much, and Edmonton signed a few low-end guys. So, yeah.
Oh, who knows?
How
Could go
are our
somewhere.
Canadians doing? How are our Canadians doing?
We had some minor signings, nothing really big, but we picked up Dobson at the draft, so that was our what really helped us bolstering our defense. And we picked up what's the goalie's name? Where is it? We picked up Kapokakinen, but he's going to be like a third goalie / playing in the AHL to help other guys develop. So Sammy Blaze, good little extra player, low end player to have, but we still kind of got to figure out what we're doing with Dvorak and Armia gone. But it's gonna be an interesting offseason, and Toronto can suck an egg. That's all I can say.
All right, here we go. Mark, hit us up with some quick fire rugby as we finish the day off.
Yeah, so we're coming to that time of year, if you guys don't know, over in the UK, British and Ireland, where all the teams come together and we get an invitational every 4 years to go out to either South Africa, New Zealand, or Australia. They are the three massive nations for the rugby. So we have the British and Irish Lions, which are teams made of England, Wales, Scotland, and Republic of Ireland. And we're currently trying to get a bill to go up before we face the Aussies coming up in a few weeks. But what I will say is, after losing to Argentina, who, by the way, have a really good team, who last night lost to the English, the English team last night in Argentina, which was a really good match, because after the English game finished, the England Euros game, I flicked over to Sky and we won 35-12 against Argentina in their own backyard. But they had their toughest task last night, the British and Irish Lions, and they won 21-10, cruising through for that. And then they've got a couple of games coming up for you on Wednesday. They will be facing the Brumbies, and then next Saturday they will be facing an Australian and New Zealand Invitational 11 or 15, where they will be playing. And then the week after that will be the start of the Test series against the Aussies. And it's very much one of those series where it's the only time, I would say, one of the only times, one of the only times you'll ever see an Englishman, a Scotsman, a Welshman, and an Irishman all cheer on the same team at the same time. So it's really,
that sounds like it should be the start of a joke.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
I was thinking, as I started saying that, I went, this is not going to satisfy anyone's ending with how I say this whatsoever. But no, I'm loving. I've been watching a lot of podcasts recently about rugby. I've been watching a lot of the England cricket are playing now after defeating India in the first test. I think are still going in the second test. We are, but we're hanging on by a thread where we could be losing in probably any moment now against India, going 1-1 in that series for that. But England, there's a lot of sport going on over here in the UK where we got the cricket, we got the rugby, got football chat as well. So good way to talk. Bobby, you want to talk about anything else?
Nope, but seeing as we're coming to the top of the hour and you got the momentum going, Mark, I'm going to ask you to tell the people where they can find you, what you got coming up over the next little while.
You can go and check out Mark Talks Football, where we're carrying on with a new season in Australia, where we're going to be carrying on, because the last episode, not that I'm looking at my phone right now to tell me what I've got coming up. Yesterday's episode was mine and Bobby's review of the season. Bobby, we've already done another review.
Yes, we have
come out. So there's a review show for that, and coming up for you tonight is the main event of King and Queen of the Ring, where we will be finding out who will be king or queen. Will it be Raw's Charlie Dempsey, or will it be NXT's Finn Balor, or will it be on the Queen of the Ring side, 2 SmackDown stars, Tiffany Stratton, or the debuting Blake Monroe, who will be coming in and to finish that off? And then starting tomorrow is the build, a very quick build, but a build to Bash in Berlin, where shenanigans happens during the week where I get very angry. Anyway, but I want to make one thing clear as well. Starting 3 days from today, I have a new channel. It's called Mark Talks Men's Health. And what we're going to be doing on that channel is we're going to be sat down with different men and women, and we're going to be talking about the role that men have in the world now. Why the conversations about stigma around men not healthy, and what we need to do to get men to start talking. The first episode will be coming out where it's just me introducing the channel and the series with lots of shorts coming out. But the what are we on? 16th of July. There we go. That's a week Wednesday. 16th of July will be the first episode with a guest, and that will be my brother. He is very notorious around not talking at all. And this is the first time he's agreed to be open and honest about any questions that I want to ask him. So that's Mark Talks Men's Health. What are we on? What do you mean, mate? Oh, older. He's younger than me. So I don't know if that's the question you were asking. He's younger than me for that. But yeah, if you could go over to YouTube, it's going to be a YouTube series for the time being, because I'm not paying for Spotify to pay for it to go on Spotify. So it's a YouTube series at the moment on Mark Talks Men's Health, and we will be doing a weekly show, and then episode 2 and 3 will be these two. Basically, you just have to wait and see which one's which for that. Yeah, I've gone through. I'll explain it more, but my mental health phase, I now refer it to my nutty phase, has made me become expressive, where he's sort of learning that at the moment, but it's just going to be very raw. I don't think he understands the interview we're going to be having yet. With that, and he said he's going to be open and honest through all of that, and I want him to. If I was a dick, I want him to let people know I was an absolute bellend. You all know that anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, that's what I got coming up. Andre, you beautiful bald-headed bastard, what have you got coming up?
You can actually catch me over on Mark's channel, Mark Talks Wrestling, as I'm taking over as the general manager of the NXT brand starting this week. Starting Tuesday. I'll be starting to run the NXT brand. I got a lot of plans. Mark is very aware of my loads of plans.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm very aware. I just want to say we haven't killed off Lauren. I'm just going to say this. We haven't killed off Lauren. Lauren is now going to be the new general manager of AAA, which is going to be the Sunday show, where she's going through a lot at the moment. And she needs a bit of time to relax. Will West Ham sign anyone? Yes. No, you're going to sell players before you sign them because you signed a fuck ton last summer. So I'm going to say this as well. Andre has not replaced Lauren. Lauren has just moved brands. She will be doing Sundays, a lot less committal for her. But Andre, with his 45 million expectations and questions he asked me. And it always happens on a Friday night. It's a Friday or Saturday night. Always get the messages that I get from him.
It was Saturday afternoon. Oh, I guess it was night for you. It was afternoon for me.
It was about 11 o'clock at night for me. You were going, I'm about to set up the ring. So I presumed you were doing something during the day. I was like, I'm about to set up the ring. I was like,
I was working. It was heading towards going to wrestling to help ring up. Yeah. But yeah, you can also find me on the X for this guy at that Canada, TikTok, Instagram, that's at that Canada. You can find me right here on OLE, where I'll be having Marvel Talk or DC Talk coming out on right now, scheduled for Sunday the 13th. We're gonna be talking Superman, the new movie, the Superman movie. Right now is scheduled for the 13th, but things can change. Maybe
just in the chat.
Maybe this is DC talk, by the way. This isn't Marvel talk. This is DC talk. Marvel talk. We are not going to be doing the Black Panther rebound on the 16th. That is being pushed into August after Fantastic Four life is just crazy busy right now especially on Ed's side. So we're going to push that into August. Then we'll be back at the end of the month for Fantastic Four. And you can also find me over on Backburger Video, where we do my show, The Pop Spot. My co-host AWS, as we talk about all the professional wrestling, all the independent professional wrestling we go to here in the Edmonton area, and I will be reviewing the shows the last couple of days that I've been at that I did work. So I'm not going to be as in depth as talking about it. I don't have any notes. Adam's got all the notes for Saturday's show, and I'm just going to run down Friday show that I worked. So yeah.
Okay. There you go. My ticker's down below if you want to follow me on any of the social media, as well as YouTube, Twitch, all those wonderful things. Check it out. I'm going to be playing the calendar right away, which, again, I have to make a quick correction to right after we go off the air, because I forgot to slot DC Talk in on the Sunday because I'm so used to Marvel Talk on Wednesdays, but I will make that correction and we will re-upload the said calendar. But you can find everything over on OLE Podcast, as well as finding us on YouTube and Twitch, where we do all of our streaming, including that DC Talk that's coming up on that Sunday that I forgot to put on this calendar, but I'm going to make that correction in just a couple of minutes. And as always, we thank every single one of you in the chat for being active in the chat, for joining us on Sundays, and for always being here to support what we do. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. With that said, I will play the calendar minus DC Talk here for you on our way out. We'll see you next Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling that I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming. I'm sick of all your lies.